All right, and here we are with part two of the interview. Once again, I'm Philip Harris, and
Frank Teal.
all right, and so now we're going to look at we looked a little bit at the reason why I wanted to cover Piaget theory of cognitive development, just to make sure there were no issues developing cognitively. Growing up as a child to adolescence, we identified there was not. No barriers or roadblocks to cognitive development. So we also covered stage 5, identity versus identity confusion. You know, what you identify with, how you grew up, what you were doing, what you gravitated to in your adolescence, and we looked a little bit of at your adulthood. So now we're looking at this is in those ages, kind of like roughly for stage 5 is like 10 to 19, we'll say, and then stage 7, adulthood, like 40 to 65, and then we're looking at 65. How old are you now?
66.
So we're looking at 65 plus, and we're looking at Erickson's stage 8 integrity versus despair. You could slide over towards the
Okay, here we go.
and and this Erickson stage 8, which is integrity versus despair, people in older age reflect on their lives and take inventory of their success. So I know you recently you had a retirement, you know, and looking back now at work and growing up and retirement, like what are you doing now, and what do you think about, and how do you assess everything you've been through?
Well, I enjoyed the workplace where I worked at. So when I retired, it was I always wanted to retire, but that day that came upon me, it was kind of like a shock to me. I said, okay, what do I do now if I retire? So I said, well, always been a gym rat. So I said, okay, I'll continue to work out. So I continued to work out down the gym, and I add a little cardio, which is Zumba. I take a lot of Zumba classes too. But for some reason, I still wasn't feeling right because my eating habits wasn't all there like it should be while I was working out.
I know you have recently overcome a heart attack, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
The bounce back was from someone having a heart attack to being back in the gym. It seemed like that following week was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So talk about how the mindset that took you to overcome, that's a big hurdle for a lot of people, but you kind of made it seem like a pebble, like they're stepping over a pebble. So talk about that.
Well, it actually wasn't.
Why was it so easy?
It wasn't a pebble. It wasn't easy.
Okay.
But I said to myself, I seen a lot of other guys that had heart attacks, and I just didn't want to end up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, well, you know what? I'm gonna come back stronger than when I was before. And Phil, as when me and you was working out, my goal was always to bench press 300 when I was 65 years old.
Yeah.
And just because I had that heart attack, that wasn't going to set me back. Mm-hmm. So I continued to work out. It took everything out of me, but slowly and by the grace of Jehovah, I kept coming back, and now here I am, and I'm very grateful. And I'm very thankful, and I think I'm better than I was before I had my heart attack. After I had my heart attack.
Is that based on the success that, as far as like with everything, like health wise and being in sports that you had earlier, like were there setbacks, like say something as a broken leg or a broken limb, or what I mean, you bounce back, you learn how to bounce back from things.
Yeah, because I had my heart attack, but I had 2 knee operations before I had my heart attack, so that was just a little stepping stone. And then I had 2 operations on my wrist, so it coming back wasn't that difficult for me because I knew what I wanted to achieve, So that really wasn't that hard for me to come back.
And then wrapping this up, overall in your life in review, would you say that it's been successful?
For me, it's been very successful, and my family was my backbone. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do the same thing over again. And I still will raise you the same way I would done today. So
thank you. All All right, and that's a wrap.